Alright, welcome everyone to the Chennai Super Pings versus Good Gravy Boat. Week 1, match 1. We're gonna have a good game here. Let me know if anything screws up. Hopefully it won't. But we are just waiting for the game to start. And once it starts, I'll go ahead and get on the comms. You'll notice the starting lineups for Chennai Super Pings will be Water Wheel, Cheetos, Rule, Aardvark, and Aaron. And on Good Gravy Boat, we'll have Goober, Jake from State Farm, Big Bird, and Raspberry, aka Meat. And it looks like the R's are going out, and so we will be starting here in just a moment. Alright, 5 seconds to start.
3,
so,
2, 1.
Let's see what goes on here. Chennai Super Pings features Cheetos, Rule, and Aaron on the offensive side. Goober on the offensive side for the Good Gravy Boat, and Water Wheel gets a good return on Goober and the double kill on Jake from State Farm. The flag is reset. Both teams move in position. We're about 30 seconds from power-ups from now. Bombs are coming up. Red will go ahead and defuse theirs. And, I'm sorry, blue defused theirs. Red defused blues. Missed on the attempted grab, and red had the defuse. Power-ups in 10 seconds. Both teams will start to position for that. You can expect one from each offensive pair to head off toward the power-up spawn, but it looks like Water Wheel will go ahead and break off the defense, and Aardvark will get the other rolling bomb. 2 rolling bombs. Kind of unlucky for Chennai Super Pings as Goober comes in for the cap. He will be patient here. Good defense by Red, and they will continue to try to stay in front of Goober, not give him an opportunity. Meanwhile, Anti-Re is there, and we will have a full reset here. So, a little bit of action there. No goals, no captures yet. As Jake from State Farm will get a solo grab and try to get out. However, his solo grab did lead to a handoff for Goober. Goober coming into the base. A quick desperation grab by Cheetos, and they will get the return there. As well as getting the flag out, now we have regrad trains on both sides, and so the chase begins. Aaron, great gate there, catching Big Bird sleeping, as the FCs will kiss. Good call out by Good Gravy Boat there to have that anti-re in place and make the return happen. Nice out by Cheetos against Raspberry there. Had that pixel perfect stuff going on as Red will use a TagPro to get out. That's now on power-ups. We've got 4 power-ups for Chennai Super Pings, 0 for Good Gravy Boat. That's something they'll definitely want to clean up here, as power-ups are about to run out. And unfortunately, Aardvark could have probably stayed there for a couple of seconds just to let Aaron get out. But we kind of close here. Good moves there. Great return. And it looks like that will be 1-0 for Chennai Super Pings, putting them on the board. First cap of the game. Both defenses do get reset. We have a grab by me, and she will get returned. However, a grab by Aardvark will also get returned. Cheetos will try to make something happen here, but he's going to most likely get chased down, and he does. Jake's from State Farm, meanwhile, out on a handoff, as Big Bird grabs the first power-up for the Gravy Boat. Couple of quick returns. Cheetos Rule, however, does get out, and he misses the boost. That probably should have been a cap, and instead, Jake from State Farm will also mess up his boost on the counter cap. So 2 missed cap opportunities, 1 for each team there. Could have very easily been 2-1 or tied game, or even the 2-0. So, but both teams did manage to mess that up. Cheetah's Rule with a kind of a little bit off on the bomb there. Jake from State Farm does get out, and Big Bird probably should have gotten button there, and he looks. I don't know if he was actively trying to miss it. Probably could have gotten the return there, but Aardvark will be able to get out on a 2v1 in Blue Base. Jake from State Farm now poised to grab the power up, and unfortunate boost by Aardvark, but he will get the return. However, that is 2 power-ups on the turn on the side of Good Gravy Boat, as they will have a TagPro lead now. And with a flag carrier past 2, this is not looking good. This is not looking good at all, and that is 1-1. Good Gravy Boat does get the cap, puts him on the board, and we have a tie game, folks, with 5:33 left in the first half. Couple of quick flacids on the side of the Super Pings, and both teams will be reset. Power-up's not going to be up for another 25 or 30 seconds, so it looks like for the time being, we will just have to wait and see if anyone can get a grab. Cheeto's Rule does get a grab, and he's passed 2. Good return there by Aardvark. We'll give them a... Oh, Water Wheel missed the block there. That could have been another cap opportunity. One thing that's definitely changed in TagPro over the last few years is defenses have gotten a lot cleaner at preventing a lot of those easy mistakes. Goober, however, getting out past 3, and he does get slowed down in time for Cheetos to get the return. Big Bird out with Flag Pro, and good positioning on the side of Cheetos Rule to get the return there. They will let the Tag Pro run out on defense to prevent a grab for a few more seconds, as Jake from State Farm gets the first grab, and Cheetos will contain and get the return. Both offenses positioning, looking for boosts, looking for good grabs. Defense is trying to contain them, and so far the defenses in this round are doing pretty well. Getting contains and just keeping those offenders down. Next round of power-ups will come up, and we'll take a quick 10-second break. Sorry about that. That was a cat for China Super Pings. Great move there. And double tag pros on each side, as Blue is now looking for the counter cap. Oh, a very fortunate bomb, and all of a sudden, Chennai Super Pings getting that 3-1. Good Gravy Boat lost their regrab, and either it wasn't communicated or they committed too hard to that return. I'm sorry, to that cap. As Red will make a desperation move, trying to stop Goober, but it looks like he's going to have a wide open goal, and that is going to be 3-2. Now for still with Chennai Super Pings in lead, but they will close that gap. Quick turns on both sides will cause a lull in activity. However, both power-ups are coming up. Red not in position for bottom power-up, as Goober gets the Juke Juice. As now Red does position and loses the top power-up as well. That is now on 42. And a good Tag Pro in, and good out by Water Wheel will save that capping opportunity, but he'd better run fast from Jake from State Farm. He is hot on his tail. Snipe miss by Big Bird, and Water Wheel is able to delay long enough, but a good Tag Pro on the side of Big Bird plus a gate for Goober gets 3 kills and a third cap for Super Pings. Both teams are reset. We're 3-3. I'm sorry, third cap for Good Gravy Boat. Both offenses positioning. Bottom power up is going to come up in a few seconds, so both teams will look to do that. However, a great bump grab by Jake from State Farm, and he is now up past 3. The gate by Goober does get Aaron, but a good catch up by Water Wheel will save that, and Aaron as well with the hustle will save the opportunity cap there. As Tag Pro's kiss to neutralize the threat on defense. And now Cheeto's Rule is out past 1. However, Jake from State Farm will make a very good defensive play and step up to it. But an amazing bomb there, and unfortunately Cheeto's Rule ruins that cap opportunity with the bomb, or I'm sorry, with the boost into the flag carrier, that should have been an easy cap for Chennai Super Kings. We're now seeing on both sides several missed opportunities. However, Goober does get boosted out by Aardvark, and that will be another capture for Cheetosville. Cheetosville now at 2 caps, tying with Goober on the game. It is 4-3 on the half so far, and we will have a little bit of a lull here as both teams will start to fight for power-ups. Water Wheel with a little bit of backwards boost kind of messes up Aardvark, and that will be a free grab for Goober. However, he does just barely miss the power-up, but that shouldn't matter as he misses the boost that he could have had the cap again. Yet another missed opportunity for Good Gravy Boat. That could have been the 4-4 tie there, as Jake from State Farm will get brought down by Chennai Super Kings defense. A good double tap there by Water Wheel to get the solo returns on both attackers in a 1v2 situation. Aardvark will get a grab and be delayed. However, Aaron does very mindfully stay ahead as the half comes to a close. 4-3 in turn for the lead of Chennai Super Kings. They will take the 4-3 lead in the game, and we'll be back with the second half in a few minutes. In the meantime, just some quick overviews. We definitely noticed that a couple of things. We had some very key missed opportunities, power control issues early in the game for Good Gravy Boat, put them down on a 1-0, where they could have been tied very easily. A couple of other missed cap opportunities. I think we had 3 on the side of Chennai Super Kings and 2 for Good Gravy Boat. I may have those numbers backward, but there were a couple for both teams where they had very clear capping opportunities, but either a miscommunication or a misplay stopped that opportunity. Quick half, very quick half. Not very much to talk about on either team. They both wanted to just get done with the game, so we're going to go ahead and skip right into half 2. Game 1, half 2, about to begin.
3, 2, 1.
All right, and the teams have switched sides. Red base now belonging to the Gravy Boat. Blue now belonging to Chennai Super Kings. As Cheetos gets the quick grab and good defense by Big Bird, will Aaron was not able to maintain the block. And speaking of blocks, Aaron completely blocked out as Goober gets the good grab past 3 and is able to get quick cap. We are tied in this game 4-4, 1-0 on the half. Couple of boosts in, not leading to much so far as defenses are holding their respective forts down very handily. Looks like Cheeto's rule has switched to defense, and Water Wheel has switched to offense. I think that's been that way. Power-ups do come up. We will have a TagPro for Good Gravy Boat, and a Juke Juice for the Chennai Super Kings. Both grabs are neutralized. TagPro is coming in on offense, though. We could see 3-man defense, and we do for a moment, but Aaron hears about the open grab, and now he is past 3. A solo return here for Aardvark. Oh, Water Wheel does come in with the assist, and that is 1-1 on the half. Chennai Super Kings ties up the half, taking a 1-point lead in the match, or so far in this game. Cheetos will be out, but he will be quickly corralled as Jake from State Farm plays anti, holding it down. And we do see that Water Wheel has taken the defensive placement, so it looks like it was just a matter of the situation calling for it. Water Wheel going back to play anti-read against Goober. However, Goober will get the grab. and a Flaccid on the side of Chennai Super Pings will put Goober past 2. Past 3 now, and Waterwheel needs to get around that gate. And the TagPro by Jake from State Farm puts them in a good position. However, great return by, I think that was Aardvark, got the quick grab and return. However, double tag pros for Good Gravy Boat, and this is a really scary situation. They do need to capitalize on this. They are down by 1. However, one tag pro runs out, and they have not capitalized anything on it. The second runs out, and it looks like they will, for this handoff, this will be the end of that play. However, she is past 4. Raspberry comes in, misses the boost. Cheetos rule with a good return. Close, almost a capture, and that double tag pro results in nothing for Good Gravy Boat, which is quite unfortunate. You really have to take advantage of those double tag pro opportunities. Odds of both power-ups being a tag pro is only, you should only see that once a game on average. It's only 1 in 9. And to have that opportunity, I mean, generally speaking, in a 2 power-up map, you should get a double tag pro only once per game, only once per 2 halves. Jake from State Farm in a good position. Great bomb by Goober, and Cheetos barely in position for that stop, and a little bit different of a boost or a little different positioning, and that would have been the 2-1. Very close save there. Again, Cheetos coming in pretty clutch for the Chennai Super Pings. However, Goober will look to make an attempt, and some great blocking by Big Bird almost results in the cap. However, Cheetos does get that last second grab, last quarter of a second grab to save the cap. However, Good Gravy Boat still in these out positions. Chennai Super Pings hasn't been able to get reset in a while, and a kiss there will get them reset. Very good for their morale on the defensive side. Emerald is a very grab-heavy, chase-heavy map, and Cheetos will come in looking for another opportunity, and Jake from State Farm will get the return. Like I was saying, Emerald is a very grab-heavy, carry-heavy map. It's very difficult to get good resets without anti-re, and it can be very demoralizing for a defense to have to spend the majority of the game chasing and not be able to get any good resets on their defense. As both flag carriers do continue to run, Cougar getting the return on Aardvark, and it looks like Red is reset, and again, Good Gravy Boat out with a flag. Chennai Super Pings being forced to play very hard offensive defense. Raspberry does take her time, however, doesn't quite roll the corner right, and Waterwheel with a great counter cap. That anti-re by Aaron kept Cooper busy and kept him out of the play, and that is 2-1 on the half for the Super Pings. So 6-4 currently in the game. As both flags are reset. Power-ups were grabbed. We've got a, looks like we had a rolling. I didn't see who that was. And Raspberry will keep her Juke Juice, and a good return on Waterwheel. That could have been very bad for Chennai Super Pings, as Aaron was way out of position for that, and Waterwheel got gated. Offenses, defenses are reset. No power-ups for the time being, so it looks like the next 20 or 30 seconds will be spent by both teams vying for position, trying to get good grabs, and it looks like there will be a grab on the side of Good Gravy Boat. They do not get it. They finally do. Cheetos as well gets the grab, and both teams are reset. Very nice snipe by Waterwheel, and if Waterwheel can hold this block, then that will be a cap for Chennai Super Pings. However, great offensive D by Goober. Goober was just too strong for Waterwheel, and Chennai Super Pings, Aardvark, recognizing that they need to get back immediately, gets in front and does help slow the flag carrier down so they can get the return. And I think he actually got the return himself. Rolling by Raspberry, she is diffused just in time. That Blue was able to corral her before the return. Waterwheel in a 1v past 3 situation. However, Aaron misses the snipe, and Aardvark is not able to chase him down, so that will be a good save by Big Bird there. And it looks like flags will be reset here. A couple of boost grabs by Good Gravy Boat, and Aaron stays back on D to help get that get that return. Good grab by Aaron. Gets out. A nice skate by Cheetos will help him out. However, he's coming in hot. Only past one as power-up spawn, and it looks like Big Bird is able to body out Water Wheel for that bottom Juke Juice. Top Juke Juice comes up, and Raspberry is able to boost that out from front of Water Wheel. Meanwhile, Jake from State Farm moving with the flag, and we've got another regrab chain on the side of Good Gravy Boat. Really unfortunate they're not able to turn these into caps so far. Definitely has to be a little bit demoralizing for their offense. But it also is a testament to the good offensive D and anti-re capabilities, as a flaccid by Cheeto's rule ends up giving Raspberry a good opportunity. However, great offensive D again. She has no boosts to use, and Aardvark is out past 2. It looks like he'll be past here. 1 kill by Bidbird puts the blocking out of reach, but all of a sudden that spawn and some great blocking will lead to another cap for Chennai Super Pings, giving them a 3-point lead in this game with only 2 minutes to go. It's going to take a very big sequence of errors. However, again, Chennai Super Pings captures, doesn't even need to use the rolling bomb. That is a 4-cap lead, and it looks like Chennai Super Pings will walk away with game 1. Minute and a half left to go. The Juke Juice will run out for Goober. They're going to look to make a grab. We've got a Flaccid on the side of Super Pings, and good boost control by Aardvark will stop that attempt. Alright, looks like Goober will get a... Oh, he decides not to go for the grab, but he does get the second grab. Oh, unfortunate. Little lack of communication there. Jake from State Farm boosts right into him, and flags are reset again as Aaron gets the grab. And now is past 3, and a block on Jake from State Farm will make this a 5-point game, and it is clearly hopeless at this point. At this point, Chennai Super Pings looking to pad their stats as well as maybe demoralize, help their point differential out a little bit, long-term standings, as well as demoralize Good Gravy Boat. Nothing quite like getting your ass kicked to really settle you down. Aaron will get the grab, however. Quick stop, quick gate there by Big Bird. I'm sorry, Raspberry. And in the final 15, as we reach the final 15 seconds, the game clock winding down, and 9-4 looks like it will be the final total here. Both teams looking for some last-minute grabs, returns, and of course the coveted kept flag, but it looks like both teams will be denied as we finish Game 1 9-4 in favor of the Chennai Super Pings. Some of the stats we can see here, a lot of returns for Water Wheel and Aardvark, a lot of Flacids coming out on the side, or just unfortunate. A lot of grabs. There were a lot of grabs on the side of Good Gravy Boat, and they just were not able to convert a lot of those opportunities into captures. Chennai Super Pings got very comfortable in the middle of that last half, playing the offensive defense, making and playing one anti-re, making Good Gravy Boat have to force those opportunities as they were in the lead, and so there was really the onus was on Good Gravy Boat to try to make something happen, as Chennai Super Pings was more than happy to sit in base and let the clock run down. But second game means second game is going to be on Transilio, new game. The score is back at 0-0, and both teams do have an opportunity here to make something happen. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break until the next game starts.
3.
And we are back
2,
for
1.
game two, half one, first half of the second game, starting up now. Good gravy boat on the side of red, on the top side of the map. Chennai Super Pings taking out the bottom, and after that 9-4 drubbing that Good Gravy Boat just took, they'll definitely need to clean up a lot of their game here for the second game. As Jake from State Farm does get the first grab, and a gate by Cheeto's rule will put an end to that. However, Goober with the regrab, and Jake from State Farm will come out for the block 3 offensive D, and that will be a return on Goober, as it looks like they will have resets on both sides. Water Wheel with a quick grab, not much should come out of that. Bombs do come up, and they lead to nothing. Transilio a lot harder to grab and get out of base on than Emerald was, so power-ups will be a lot more important here. We shouldn't see a 13 cap game like we did in the last one. Water Wheel pushing on Aardvark and gives Jake from State Farm the TagPro. He definitely would have been more well advised to push from the same side as Aardvark rather than the opposite side. However, a TagPro kill on Cheeto's rule will allow Aaron to get the return. Very good offensive D, and power-ups are going to run out here. Or all the power-ups run out, and it's still 0-0. Good job there by Chennai Super Pings, and all of a sudden, quick return on Goober, barely in the nick of time by Cheeto's rule, will give a capture. That is 1-0 Super Pings. As a gate by Water Wheel, everyone tries to come in the gate, and that is another cap. Really unfortunate that everyone tried to go in through the gate. Very heads-up play by Water Wheel to stop them there, to get on that button. And he is able to get his own returns. Very, very heads up, very well done. And that is a 2-0 play. I'm sorry, 2-0 game so far. I think that Water Wheel play might be top 10 for the week. That was very heads up. Power-ups do come up and are about to run out here. Water Wheel wasn't able to get the kill there. Goober out past 3, and Water Wheel's gonna go ahead and walk the flag back into base just to give his offense more time his defense more time to get the return, and they do. Jake from State Farm beats the anti-re, is past 2, and with 3 blockers in base, hits the wall on the bad angle. A little bit of that maybe just that rust, still trying to wear that off from being out of league play. Hits that corner wrong. Goober looks like he'll have an opportunity here. Really good moves there, but good defense by Aardvark. Power-ups come up. We have all 3 little roulette wheel here. Raspberry gets the TagPro, Water Wheel with the rolling, and Aaron with the Juke Juice. Water Wheel will use that rolling to get out past 2. However, with the TagPro in base, they will need to delay. Wait for that TagPro to run out as it does, but Water Wheel does get sniped out by Jake from State Farm. Good snipe there, right next to the spike. And it looks like both teams will get reset here. Raspberry making some good moves here. Very good moves by Raspberry as she gets past 3, but Cheeto's rule is there for as the last man back to get the return. Meanwhile, Goober, just with some excellent mechanics as always, however, not able to get out past Aardvark and Water Wheel, double team him and get him down. As power-ups do come up, this time Water Wheel and Aardvark do push from the same side, and that will give Aardvark the TagPro, all 3 power-ups being TagPros. Not very often that you see that, only about once every 3 games. But here we are, and 2 of those TagPros are on the side of the Super Pings. However, as we generally do see, against the 2 TagPros, they keep their last TagPro on defense. Very smart move by the Good Gravy Boat to keep the Super Pings from being able to take advantage of their TagPro lead. Boost spawned for Raspberry, and Cheeto's rule was out past 3. He was looking very good, but that boost spawned right under Raspberry and was able to, excuse me, she was able to get that return. Cheeto's hits that corner. Could have been out there without that corner hit, but that does slow him down enough for Raspberry to get the return. Both teams reset. Power-ups will be up soon, so the lull in the action will not last long, as both teams will start to position themselves for it. And Jake from State Farm is again able to split both defenders, but he chases for the tag, and oh my goodness, Chennai Super Pings gets the 3-0 cap. And Goober is out with 2 tag pros defending him. Cheetos will have to survive for a long time. Good return by Big Bird, and that will be a 1-3 now in the favor of Chennai Super Ping. So Good Gravy Boat does bring that a little bit closer. And there's still plenty of time in this game to go. 4:20 left in the half, and it's still another 10-minute half after this. So plenty of time for the Good Gravy Boat side to make some good grabs and come back. Both defenses are reset. Power-ups coming up soon. Goober, the quick grab. He will use the portal to evade Water Wheel, and Aardvark will need to stay ahead of him. Power-ups come up. We have 2 rolling bombs, 3 rolling bombs. 1 was defused immediately, 2 very soon after, and with all 4 members in Good Gravy Boat base back dead, some good defense will go ahead and get Cheetos roll corralled, and both defenses are reset with 30 seconds to pups. This should be one of the biggest lulls of the game. And that is one of the unfortunate things about rolling bombs, is that once they're diffused, they do tend to get diffused a little early and often lead to nothing. Widely considered to be one of the weakest power-ups in the game. Just because of the lack of longevity that Juice and TagPro have. 3 minutes left in the game. I'm sorry, in the half. Both teams should look for power-ups very quickly. All 4 of Chennai Super Pings were back in their base there. Looks like we had a couple deaths as Water Wheel gets the rolling bomb. And again, we've got 2 rolling bombs on the field. 1 Juke Juice for Raspberry. Both rollings are defused, and Cheetos will need to make a move in order to stay ahead. Raspberry does put that Juke Juice to good use and brings him down. As now, Good Gravy Boat looking really good, and Goober does get the boost. That will be 2-3 now, as the last 2 caps have been scored by Good Gravy Boat, bringing them within 1. And it looks like Good Gravy Boat will again be out. Jake from State Farm and Goober putting on quite the clinic offensively, as Water Wheel is in a really good position. Jake from State Farm just couldn't quite get the bomb exactly where he wanted it. And however, Cheetos out past 4, and all of a sudden things are looking very grim for the Good Gravy Boat. However, Goober is able to use that portal and very smartly evades the return, as Aaron was sitting on the regrab spot. They didn't know how long they'd have. Maybe a little bit of communication could have brought that back. We do have 2 tag pros, 1 on each side. Cheetos had a rolling that they were able to defuse. However, he does spike himself, and all of a sudden, Raspberry with a double kill and a death on the side of the flag carrier for the Chennai Super Pings, as well as an anti-re, means 4 people back in their base with the flag out, and that is going to be a very easy cap for the Good Gravy Boat. I believe Goober now has all 3 caps, and he does for Good Gravy Boat. So Goober definitely keeping his team in the game, now both teams are looking to try to make something happen. And Chennai Super Pings had that 3-0 lead and lost it. However, Cheetos rolled past 2. Very good move there. However, Goober is in the right place and gets a return on OD. Last round of power-ups for the half. Goober with the Tag Pro, Cheetos with the rolling, with the Juke Juice, and a rolling will come up, and Aaron needs to get out. Needs to get that flag and get out. Goober was past 3 there. So good communication, good heads-up play, and Goober is making very good use of those portals and trying to keep his team in. Goober goes for the kiss, and I think it was because Chennai Super Pings wasn't in as good of a position to get the regrab as Good Gravy Boat was. However, both teams, are able to get grabs, are able to get out. Have an anti by Goober along with the return. means that Good Gravy Boat will be out, but a great solo by Waterwheel. Very good play on the portals, as both teams looks like will have a kept to end the half, and 3-3 on the half. Game 2, half 1 ends 3-3. Very good play, as we can see. Waterwheel, lots of tags, lots of returns. Raspberry, lots of returns, lots of tags, and 18 grabs by Goober. I'm sorry, 21 grabs by Goober, and 3 of them do end up in captures. So very high production there for Goober. Brings his team back in after going down 3-0 early in the half. Momentum definitely in the way of Good Gravy Boat, and they will need to use that momentum here in the second half to try to keep them going. We'll take a quick break for game 2, half 2, after we return.
Three, two, one.
And we're back as game 2, half 2, gets underway. So far tied 3-3, and if this ends in a tie, we will go to overtime here to decide this game. Quick grab for Good Gravy Boat. Both teams have switched sides, as now Chennai Super Kings on red and Good Gravy Boat on blue. Momentum here is definitely in favor of the Good Gravy Boat. However, Chennai Super Kings does get out. Great grab by Aaron, and that should be an easy cap with those blocks out. Good Gravy Boat came way too far out for the return, and I don't think it was communicated that he was going low rather than high. They both moved out high. I think that was either a miscommunication or some late communication that he had switched sides. Either way, that will be 1-0 for Chennai Super Kings as they go up 4-3. Both flags, however, reset. Power-ups come up. We have 2 rollings, 1 on each team, and a TagPro for Chennai Super Kings. So they will have the power-up advantage, as all of a sudden, Cheetos rules out past 2 with the TagPro guarding behind. It does feel like they would have been a little bit better advised to maybe swap one of their defenders, Aaron, send him out on regrab rather than and let the TagPro go with him. However, Cooper with some great moves. Waterwheel needs to stay alive here very wisely. Good communication on the side of Chennai Super Kings lets him know that he needs to not take that boost and he needs to take moves to stay alive and avoid the cap. As Cooper does get returned. And Big Bird will have the out though, so a regrab train has started for Good Gravy Boat. Almost out there for Chennai Super Kings, barely stopped. However, offensive D is in position to slow him down for the rest of the defense to catch up, and now Aaron is playing power-up control, and a great out there for Chennai Super Kings, even against the TagPro, but you better look out because all of a sudden Raspberry is past 3 with a TagPro lead. Aaron needs that quick grab, and he needs to survive for his team to get there. He does. 2 members of Chennai Super Kings get there just in the nick of time, and again, that slowdown by Chennai is keeping a lot of those capping opportunities from Good Gravy Boat from coming to life. Good gate control by Cheetos. However, the bump by Aardvark will give Jake from State Farm the gate, but Aardvark is able to isolate and 1v1. He will get the solo return on Goober. in base. Both teams trying to make some grabs happen, but most of the activity is staying in base. However, power-ups will come up in a few seconds, and we should see a lot more activity as both teams are positioning within for the base power-ups. However, no one has gone for mid, as Cheetos will break off, giving Bidbird the juke juice, and Cheetos will get the rolling. Aaron does win the power-up in red base, the TagPro, and he's going to move in to try to help Cheetos get a clean grab, and he is going to be past 4 if that's communicated well. Cheetos just needs the boost here. They need a block on Bidberg, and they get it. Cheetos rule gets the go-ahead cap, or I'm sorry, to bring them up by 2 for Chennai Super Pings, as we are now at 5-3 on game 2. 6.5 minutes left in the game. Jake from State Farm making a move. Great bomb roll off the corner. Aaron though does keep him in place. However, some good portals here, and it looks like he will finally get brought down. Another regrab by Big Bird comes in, and all of a sudden, after 2 flacids, Good Gravy Boat looks like they will be able to close this to within 1, and Water Wheel barely misses. The cap there for, I believe that was Jake from State Farm. Yes, Jake from, I'm sorry, no, Big Bird got that cap. That was Big Bird getting the getting their first cap. And now both teams will be reset. 2 tag pros on the side of Good Gravy Boat in that last one, and all of a sudden Aaron was out past 2, but he spikes himself as the tag pros should look to wear off here. And if Aardvark is able to get the return here, then that will be again 2 tag pros. Oh, they do get the grab here, but and there's the return. There's the reset. And 2 tag pros again. That's the second time this match that we've seen 2 tag pros for Good Gravy Boat, and nothing coming of it. Very unfortunate for them. They're not capitalizing on a lot of these opportunities, and that seems to be the story of this entire match. As Jake from State Farm does have some very nice moves, he is brought down by a defender, and both teams will look for power-ups. But yeah, the story of this game is definitely Good Gravy Boat missing those capping opportunities. Not able to, I mean, they're getting a lot of great opportunities by these grabs from Goober, but they're just not able to close out, and it might cost them this game too. It definitely cost them their last game, as it was pretty close until the final 3 or 4 minutes. I think it was only a 2-point game. As both teams will attempt to try to make something happen, but not much. They're all quiet on the western front. Both flags are reset. Again, Transilio is a very it's an opportunistic map. Aardvark times the bomb there to get the defusal in red base, and we'll try to bring down Goober and miss a swipe and a miss by Aardvark, and a broken contain by Waterwheel, and Goober is out in front, goes for the rolling and misses it. Meanwhile, Cheetos Rule will have that rolling, but Jake from State Farm comes in to give Big Bird a backboard, and now TagPro lead on the side of Good Gravy Boat. Some good closing there, and all of a sudden, no one's there for regrab for Good Gravy Boat. It seems like a little, again, miscommunication. I feel like that is one thing where the big theme here for Good Gravy Boat is they're just not their team. It's either their teamwork is lacking or their communication is lacking, and we've seen a couple of times where it's cost them caps. Now we're again 2 cap lead, 6-4 on the side of Chennai Super Pings, and a good return there. A little earlier of a return, and that would have been a cap for the Super Pings, but just a little bit off on the timing, and Good Gravy was able to bring it back. Super Pings, meanwhile, positioning for the power-ups. However, Raspberry will be past 2 with a Tag Pro lead, past 3 now, and Aardvark goes for the snipe. Goober very wisely stays put, and another flaccid for red, and we are again 1-point game as Good Gravy Boat pulls it closer. 2.5 minutes left in the game. It's very easy, and a few seconds left on this Tag Pro as it does run out, and this very easily could end up getting tied again before the half is over. Jake from State Farm, great boost down, or great bomb down, gets out, but Aardvark is able to corral him. Both teams now, both offenses looking for opportunities, trying to create something here. Good blocking by Goober. Jake from State Farm beats out Water Wheel. We'll get past as Water Wheel will stay back for the anti-re and power up. Jake from State Farm, meanwhile, just hanging out. Aardvark staying ahead very wisely. He will need to grab that and get out and pull back. Aaron, though, is able to get in position, and now all of a sudden, Chennai Super Pings out past 3. Goober with a good solo grab here, and that's going to be another return. If Raspberry can bring this down, we'll have a tied game, and we will. It is 3-3. We're tied again. Yet another half where Chennai Super Pings went up early, and Good Gravy Boat was able to hang in there and bring it back even. And we are tied with 1.5 minutes left to go in the match. Both teams will get out here. Jake from State Farm may have been better advised to try to stay back there as Goober misses the snipe. That bomb comes up. Very lucky for Jake from State Farm to get that return, as both flags will be reset. And there will be one more round of power-ups here in the next 10-15 seconds. We'll have our last power-ups. And unless Raspberry is able to make something happen here, which she's not, those power-ups are both teams' last hope in regulation to try to make something happen. We have a rolling diffuse. Goober very nicely bodies out Cheetos for the TagPro, and Aaron gets the juice. All 4 members of Chennai Super Pings back here, and Goober is using that TagPro to keep Water Wheel spawning. And oh no, that is a flaccid, and Goober, oh, barely misses the angle. Great angle by Aardvark to save that with 20 seconds left. That was almost a come from behind victory for Good Gravy Boat. It's still not over though. We're still tied. 9 seconds left, and a couple of last grabs here, and it looks like this will go into overtime, folks. Both teams will look for the kept, and no one gets it. As the second half ends 3-3. Again, we're going in overtime. Alright, so pulled up the rules just to be sure, and for overtime we will have two 5-minute halves split into, so a 10-minute period. So it's just like, it'll be the length of the last halves, however this one is split into two halves so that teams can alternate. Ready to go out, so we'll be going here in just a moment. Captains may agree to use a golden cap format. However, it looks like they will not do that for this run here. Both teams position. Swapping places again. Chennai Super Kings on red.
2.
Good Gravy Boat on blue. Game 2, overtime, half 1 begins now. So again, the what we've been seeing here, kind of the theme of this half, or of this game, really the whole thing has been the two sides, a lot of good plays. Oh, as Chennai Super Kings, the quick grab there and cap, only half a minute in, they're able to go up 1-0. Super Kings back on top. However, a grab there by Jake from State Farm and a good out will again put them up, tie it right back up 1-1. Great counter cap there for Good Gravy Boat to keep them in this game. Flags are reset. Both teams looking to make something happen here. Water Wheel gets out, does get stopped on the boost, and 2 power-ups. I think they had all 3 power-ups went to Chennai Super Kings, and they did. Yes. Goober out past 2 here, and good positioning on the offensive defense, along with a TagPro on anti-read. We'll go ahead and get the reset. However, great bump grab by Jake from State Farm, and Jake looking for that capture. Great positioning by Aardvark to get the save there. That was almost Good Gravy Boat's first lead of the night. Hey, Aaron, ooh, almost a very fancy bomb out. Raspberry, it looks like, has either lagged out or refreshed. Something happened there for Raspberry. She was out, ends up sitting out for 10 seconds due to refresh rules, but is able to get back in. Goober, meanwhile, with the TagPro, gets the solo grab and passes 2, but he is being very well contained by Aardvark, and will get the return there, as both TagPros are going to run out soon, and we will see what, as both flags, since both flags and teams are reset, not much should happen unless one of the offenses makes something happen. Cheetos, meanwhile, does make something happen as Chennai Super Kings brings 2 of them down. Aaron out past 2, again past 3, and we'll see if Aardvark can hold this block, and he does, and that is another cap on the side of Super Kings. 2 back-to-back caps, and they are up 3-1 in this first overtime period. As again, another pass 3 opportunity, and Cheetos with the 4-1 go-ahead cap. And this is starting to get completely out of control. Good Gravy Boat needs to get this game back under control. They need to get back in position, and it looks like they do have the reset. And Jake from State Farm will get a grab out past 1, but it looks like he's going to get brought down, and Water Wheel with the anti-read will keep Goober from grabbing with the TagPro lead. However, great move by Cheetos Rule. Put himself into position, and all of a sudden Aaron is past 4, but a great catch up by Big Bird saves that goal. If he did about a tile later, and that would have been an easy cap for Chennai Super Kings to put them up to 5-1. Good defense there. Good boost by Big Bird, gets the return there. Brings settles Cheetos down a little bit. As Goober, decent out, passes 0 though, and it looks like he will get corralled here. He will try to make Tricky move here, but Aardvark is not fooled by the diversion from the bomb, and he's able to get the solo return. As last round of power-ups, all 3 TagPros, both 2 of them going to Chennai Super Kings, one staying on O, one going on, one staying on D, one going O, but keeping that TagPro on defense for Good Gravy Boat means that nothing will come of the 2 TagPro advantage. Jake from State Farm out and spikes himself. Goober will consider making opportunity. Great bomb grab by Aaron, and Goober stays alive, gets out past 3. All of a sudden, it was looking like he was going to get the cap. Nothing comes of that. A good move there saves them from going down 5-1, and we are now going to go into the second half of overtime. Shouldn't be much of a delay, as both teams will want to get there pretty quickly to get the game over with. For those of you watching, still with us, if you haven't signed up for MLTP or NLTP, MLTP is in the middle of the season. They are not taking free agents. However, they are taking NLTP call-ups this season. NLTP, meanwhile, will be starting, I believe the draft is next week. Should be starting up pretty quick. Season 13 signups are available now. If you are a veteran with over 100 minutes of A-team or majors or minors experience and you'd like to play NLTP, you do need to sign up by tomorrow night at midnight Pacific time. So make sure that in the next day or two, you go ahead and head over to reddit.com/r/NLTP and get yourself signed up. Should be another good season. I think so far there are 10 captains, I believe, and last count I saw there were over 130 signups. So definitely quite a bit of interest. Should get some good playing time. Number of captains will likely go up to 12 or even 14 to accommodate the signups, so that both teams can field A teams and B team, or all teams can field an A and a B team, as well as allow teams in. And it looks like we were going to start and went back. So, teams didn't swap. So the teams will swap real quick, and the second half of the first overtime period will begin here.
Three, two, one.
All right, it looks like we've got the second period. So far, it is 4-1 on this first overtime period in favor of the Chennai Super Kings. Good Gravy Boat will need to make a lot happen to try to come back and put themselves back in it. Jake from State Farm getting it started early. Only 20 seconds in, gets the grab and is out past 1. Water Wheel will stay back to play ante and reset this. It'll definitely be to the advantage of Chennai Super Kings to play very defensively here. Aaron out past 3 meanwhile, and if blocks are on Jake State Farm, which Aardvark is, Jake from State Farm is able to beat the block from Aardvark to get the solo return and the save to try to keep Good Gravy Boat from losing here. Try to keep them in this game. Things are already not looking good for them. However, Goober almost gets the out there. Some good hustle on the team of Chennai Super Kings. First round power-ups comes up, and it looks like Jake from State Farm, if he was able to get out there, would have been past 4. Goober, meanwhile, without the bump, or with a bump from Water Wheel, Aardvark's able to get him down. We have 2 tag pros again. This is the 3rd time this match that there have been 2 tag pros for Good Gravy Boat and none for Chennai Super Kings. Both tag pros have run out, and if there's a return here, that would be 0 for 3, 0 caps for those 3 opportunities. Very unfortunate for them. As Aardvark spikes himself, not sure if that was intentional, so he could play anti or not. Raspberry making some moves, and a flaccid grab here. Raspberry staying alive, trying desperately to have those blocks, but the blocks are not able to hold as Chennai Super Kings able to get that return. Goober, meanwhile, out past 2, boosting in 1, 2, and Aardvark is in place to get the return. Raspberry, meanwhile, trying to keep this train going, grabs the tag pro, Jake from State Farm, with the rolling, and Raspberry had an opportunity to be past 3. Jake from State Farm, meanwhile, is past 2, and boosts his last defender as we had a complete power-up sweep on the side of Good Gravy Boats, and would you look at that, we are down to a 4-3 game, 1-point game for Chennai Super Kings. Their lead, two of their 3-point lead goes away again. Finally, the double tag pros on the side of Good Gravy Boat, they are able to make something come of it, and that's definitely a very huge boon to the team. They needed that at this time now more than ever. Both offenses looking to get out. Looks like Cheetos will be out past 3, and things are looking very grim for Good Gravy Boat, as Cheetos has all day. However, good hustle by Big Bird gets him back up, and Cheetos will just simply take a lap. And Goober does get that kill, and another double tag pro sweep for Good Gravy Boat. Now Aaron uses that rolling to get out, and he needs to stay alive. Chennai Super Kings at this point just needs to delay. They need to let these tag pros run out. Great kiss, kind of a little lucky there for Water Wheel, but either way, that will be another round of double tag pros stopped. However, Water Wheel, Aardvark gets the push into Water Wheel to get the return, to get the save, to keep the 1-point lead. Raspberry, meanwhile, however, Good Gravy Boat's not over. Raspberry's trying to get in, and she gets popped. And all of a sudden, we have a reset with 1:15 left, only 1 round of power-ups left to go, and a 1-point lead for the Chennai Super Kings before they get this sweep here over Good Gravy Boat. However, Jake from State Farm will get the grab, gets popped. We're back down. Defense is a reset. Bombs come up. Nothing comes of them. Power-ups are up. We have 2 tag pros, 1 for Cheetos, 1 for Jake from State Farm, and the Juke Juice for Aaron, and he will have a grab here. Jake from State Farm, meanwhile, on offensive D with that tag pro. He needs to stay alive. He needs to stay in front. Aaron coming in, looking for the cap, and he misses. Cheetos Rule came back for the tag pro lead, and wasn't able to stay there on Re. Not that they needed it that bad, but that will be a reset for Good Gravy Boat. And with a couple of tags here for Chennai Super Kings, we are rolling down to the last moments. No power-ups left, and Jake from State Farm doesn't find the grab. He and Big Bird need to get the grab and need to get back now to try to tie this up and push it into a second overtime. And it looks like with 10 seconds left, the clock winding down, Chennai Super Kings won't be able to get out. 2 flashes on the Good Gravy Boat, and that will end the game. Chennai Super Kings wins in overtime, 10-9. Very close game, as both teams do get the kept flags to finish out. Good games go out, and that will be the end of this match. So we have a sweep of Chennai Super Kings over Good Gravy Boat. Let's Let's see here. Got 9-4 on the first game and 10-9 on the second. So Transilio actually ends up being a higher scoring game than MLTP. Okay. Granted, an extra half does that, but you know. Look at some EUs here. Let's see if we can pull up some of these EUs. Oh, that is not where that goes. It looks like nothing got uploaded to the EUs yet. It has been going slow, so we're not able to look that up now. And as you can see, the Chennai Super Pings Good Gravy Boat, hopefully big enough for y'all. Made it a little too big there. So it looks like none of the EUs have gotten uploaded yet. However, match information should come up soon. But again, big story here. The Chennai Super Pings had some good domination there throughout, especially that first game. Some really good counter caps, some really good opportunities, and despite the great grabs and opportunities for Goober on Good Gravy Boat, they were not able to stop, or they were not able to capitalize on a lot of those opportunities. Some good offensive defense and some good and some just a couple of misplays and miscommunications ended up effectively costing them that second game. So really unfortunate for Good Gravy Boat here. Anyway, this has been Jackals TV, and I hope you've been enjoying this match, and that will end the stream. See y'all next week.